Okay, hi, and we're back, and I am joined now with Richard Lico. Uh,
Hey,
how you doing? You are animation director at PolyArc.
yes, that's correct,
Yes,
Polyarch.
on Moss, which just released. So congratulations.
Yes, thank you,
It
thank
is
you.
it is gorgeous.
Yeah, we're really excited to be out and let people play the game that we've been working on.
Yeah, you guys released a couple weeks ago, a month ago. How
Yeah,
long?
about 3 weeks ago now.
Okay,
Yeah, 27th of February.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen him, you released a bunch of pretty much as soon as it seems like you started working on it, you were like showing videos of the character and
Oh yeah,
process and sort of all that stuff.
I was the company leak. It was amazing. Yeah, it was no, I mean we're an indie studio, right? So I was able to just make decisions on what we showcase.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to build up a presence for us and get our name out there. So I was showing some videos to get some early interest in the game. And
Yeah.
the cool thing is that ended up being like a behind-the-scenes look as development went on, which I
Yeah.
thought was a lot of fun to showcase.
Yeah, yeah. Your workflow process stuff I know is always inspiring to people.
Oh, thanks.
So if you haven't seen them before, go check them out on Vimeo. I think that's where you post.
Yeah, most of my stuff's
Yep,
on
most
Vimeo.
of them
Yeah.
Vimeo. Check them out. But we're gonna hit you with some questions first.
Cool,
And then
cool.
if we've got some more time, we'll talk more about Moss and some other things. So, what inspired you to get into animation?
Well, I used to be a big Street Fighter player and big Nintendo gamer growing up, and that was my thing as a kid. I was a video gamer. So when I went to college, my goal was to break into the gaming industry. And then around that time, Toy Story came out, and I was blown away by what Pixar had accomplished. And I'm just like, all right, well, I want to be able to do animation just like they're doing, but I want to do it for games. So that's where I aimed my career, and back then 3D was brand new, so it was a really open field, and there wasn't anyone that knew it. So it was probably the best approach to get in at that time.
Yeah, that's awesome. What is it that you hope to accomplish with your work, with your animation?
God, that's a deep question, right?
We go for it, man.
Well, I like one of my favorite things about animation is how it draws emotion from players, and just people. Coco did such a great job with that, and games have evolved to a point now where we can really see, great pivotal performances, not just in a narrative, but in your moments of interacting with a character. So if I make people cry, that's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I really want people to feel the game that they're playing, not just play the game that they're playing.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. What is a bit of maybe game animation that you feel like has brought that emotion on you? Do you feel like it could be one that actually give me two? I want one that you feel like elicited that emotion in you as person experiencing it, and you feel like there's anything that you've animated yourself that you think has aspired or has succeeded at that.
Well, it's all right. So the Uncharted games, fantastic. Just their ability to make a character feel real, and that real feeling character really just makes you believe in their plight. It really makes you invested in their adventure that they're going on. And it's little things like when Nathan Drake's in a pool, Chloe might scream Marco, or he might scream Marco, and Chloe's like, I'm not playing this game with you, Nathan. It's like little moments like that just make everything feel so real, and you want to be there. So that inspired me. And then also Trico from The Last Guardian, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just how that, it felt like my dog,
Yeah.
I really felt like I was there with that creature. So those were two huge inspirations for Quill, actually, in Moss. And I kept going back to those games and playing them and seeing how they made their decisions. And, well, what could we do with Quill to kind of draw those emotions in a way that's unique to us?
Mm-hmm. What were there things that you sort of had to adjust in your normal either workflow or sort of established norms that you had in animating a character that changed when you went from traditional games to VR?
Well, the VR actually isn't all that different from traditional games. It's all the same tech and everything under the hood. The only thing you have to worry about in VR is having that immersiveness, that breaking the fourth wall moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a character that's an avatar performing actions that you pretend you are. It's actually having a character talk to you and relate to you. So it was unique from that perspective, but also from the forming your own company perspective. It was just me and a few friends, and we made our own studio. So I had to write my own tools. So I went from all these amazing Bungie animation rigs to my little crappy scripts.
Mm-hmm.
So that completely changed my workflow.
Yeah, that's where do you sort of maybe draw that? Like, I don't know how often in other games, like maybe they're Bungie games, how much awareness they had of the player to now you have that fourth wall breaking stuff. Is there a line there, or you try to lean into that as much as possible? Or?
Yeah, we try and my goal with Quill is to make her feel like a complete living, breathing creature that that is no different from like any pet or friend you'd have, And that was how I figured we'd get emotion from players. And in games like Destiny, the player character is actually just an avatar, and it purposely doesn't have this strong personality, so you can define it with your own.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a complete shift in the way I approach things to be able to do this.
And now you have a GDC talk this week.
Yeah, Thursday at 10 a.m.
Okay, awesome. So if you want to hear more about your workflow and process from that, that'll be up on the GDC Vault at some point here in the upcoming weeks. But for now, thank you. This has been great.
No, thanks for having me out.
Dude, it was our pleasure. We're going to be heading over to Dan. He's going to be talking about all the amazing facial animation they did on Injustice 2.
Cool.